think we're like in a, we're shifted off a little bit.
We had court today, so
Oh, yeah.
they-
Those darn,
things are really
darn judges.
get Bo's chair out. I made a couple changes because for some reason I copied as though this was first reading.
Oh,
So
okay.
I marked that out and just said motion to adopt the ordinance.
Well, I went to a meeting on Acton today.
There is, I'm
Industrial.
gonna start just bringing the library
Oh,
board
I heard
agenda.
about
If you
that.
guys wanna
Marty
take a look, I'll
and-
just pass it down.
Yeah.
Aaron and
blonde
I,
moment.
Chuck and Tyler went out there.
Oh, did you? Was it good?
Pretty interesting,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
You know, like marijuana, it's still a federal crime.
The
You know,
Hamptons?
there are so many things going on at the library.
Because
It's like
any form of
It's our,
cannabis is
youth
listed
center almost.
as a
over
Schedule
there.
I controlled substance, which means it's
Yeah,
got
they
no
do. They have
benefit
them
to
in place.
mankind whatsoever.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's kinda, yeah.
but there's some memorandums from the Department of Justice and the Department of the Treasury that where there's a well-regulated, state-approved system for it,
Oh,
the
so,
feds will stay away.
oh, so that's what would protect Colorado from using it.
Right. But it's a risky thing, if you're growing it, and it starts approaching the statutory limit of 0.3%
Oh, really?
THC by weight.
Oh, I don't, oh.
It is exactly.
Well, there isn't, but there is some, unless you can breed it out.
At
of
6
it, it's
o'clock,
not
we'll
science.
stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And everyone remember to turn your microphones on and turn your cell phones off, and we'll have roll call.
Mayor Schoenberger.
Here.
Counselor Bain.
Here.
Counselor Becker.
Here.
Counselor Anderson.
Here.
Counselor Dykes.
Everyone has a copy of the minutes of the regular meeting of November 23rd. Are there any additions or corrections?
There were, I did find some, I had Chuck there when he really wasn't there. So we need to change that to Mayor Pro Tem Quinlan on several
Is
places.
that it?
Did you find some more?
No, just that, it was Vicky Quinlan, the Mayor
Yep.
Pro Tem that opened
Yes.
the public hearings instead of Chuck Schoenberger.
Several places in there.
Yes,
It was,
I was bound and determined you were here.
and a her was a him and those kinds of things in there too, so those changes should be in there. Is there a motion to approve the minutes as corrected?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Everybody has a copy of the minutes of the special meeting of November 30th. Are there any corrections? Hearing none, those stand approved as submitted. And everybody has a copy of the minutes of the special meeting of December 7th. Any corrections? Hearing none, those stand approved as submitted. Visitors, moving on to management. A, second and final reading of ordinance number 838-15. Karen.
Slow this evening. As announced by the mayor, this is ordinance number 838-15. It's an ordinance annexing certain unincorporated lands located in the southeast quarter of Section 33 and the southwest quarter of Section 34, Township 4 North, Range 56 West of the 6th Principal Meridian, Morgan County, Colorado, to the city of Brush, Colorado. This is that section of Hospital Road between Mill Street up north to the southern edge of I-76 right-of-way. It's part of a long process we've been going through to ultimately bring that section of roadway into the city limits.
Thank you. Any discussion on that? Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance for publication on second reading and to publish by title only?
Do we need to introduce it first?
No, that was first reading.
Oh, okay, okay.
So is there a motion to adopt the ordinance for publication on second reading and published by title only?
I'll make a motion that we approve the second and final reading of ordinance number 838-15. An ordinance annexing certain unincorporated lands located in southeast quarter of Section 33, southwest quarter of Section 34, Township 4 North, Range 56 West of the 6th Principal Meridian, Morgan County, Colorado, to the city of Brush.
Second?
Second.
Any further discussion? And roll call vote.
Mayor Schomburger,
Yes.
Counselor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Bain,
Yes.
Counselor Becker,
Yes.
Counselor Dykes.
Yes.
Moving on to number B, first reading of ordinance number 840-15. Discuss that.
Okay, ordinance number 840-15 is an ordinance approving the leases of certain real estate owned by the city of Brush for terms of 5 years. And the properties that we're discussing tonight are farm properties. And this ordinance includes 5 of the city farms. And a few months ago, the city put these out to bid. We advertised in the paper, and we also let the current tenants know that it was going out to bid. And we received a number of bids on these farms, and they're bid dollars per acre. And we had the results here in the ordinance that's going to approve this for a 5-year term. The reason that it comes to the city as an ordinance is because our city code says that if it's up to a 1-year lease agreement, administratively, I can sign off on a 1 year, but anything more than a year has to come to the city council in the form of an ordinance. Very quickly, I'll go through the different tenants. On one of the farms, it's Gary and Travis Blake, and that was for $111 per acre. Property 2 is Nick and Cassie Meeks for $130 per acre per year. We have another property at $111, and that's Gary and Travis Blake again. And then Nikki and Cassie Meeks, they picked up another property at $110. And then Ryan Lay bid $226 per acre on the English feedlot farm. And so this is in front of council for first reading.
And can I call for a counselor to introduce the ordinance and read the ordinance by title, and then a motion to approve the ordinance for publication on first reading and publish in full?
Ordinance number 840-15, an ordinance approving the leases of certain real estate owned by the city of Brush for terms of 5 years.
Are you introducing it too?
I was just gonna read it by title to introduce it.
Okay,
Okay. Does that work?
yeah.
All right. And a second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
One thing I was gonna mention was that from the previous agreements that we did have, one of the changes was on the farms that have the ditches that go through the farm, we did make that the responsibility to maintain those, the individual or company leasing the properties. In the past, the city's maintained some of those, but it's better for the tenant to maintain those instead of the city, so we went that direction. And just as a note, you know, those farms, most of them, I believe all of them have water rights that are associated to those properties, and there's annual ditch assessments that are paid. The city pays those annually just to make sure that it's very clear the ownership of those water shares, water rights.
Okay. Roll call vote.
Counselor Bain,
Yes.
Counselor Becker,
Yes.
Counselor Dykes.
Yes.
Mayor Schomburger,
Yes.
Counselor Anderson.
Yes.
Moving on to number C, recycling agreement between Morgan County and the city of Brush.
This is an agreement between Morgan County and the city of Brush. This is for our cardboard recycling program, and annually we have this agreement signed. And what happens is the city, we collect all the cardboard, we take it to the landfill, and then from there they process it and they turn it into cash. Cardboard is an excellent product to be recycled, and the cash turnaround's really good on that. So we split those proceeds, and it's been a very good program over the last year. I'm not sure if it's monthly or quarterly, but we do receive checks, monthly checks from them. So really good program, and it also, for the county, it benefits them by not having to fill up so much of the landfill cells that they're working in for that year. And just looking for an approval on that and allow the mayor to sign off on that agreement.
One other comment, Monty, on that is This program is what allows us to get those rebates from the state. You'll remember I got 2 this year from the state and those programs that they have at the state level.
Is there a motion to approve the recycling agreement?
I'll make a motion that we approve the recycling agreement between Morgan County and the City of Brush.
Second. Motion and second. Any further discussion? And again, a roll call vote.
Counselor Becker,
Yes.
Counselor Dykes.
Yes.
Mayor Schomberger,
Yes.
Counselor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Bain.
Yes.
Moving on to number 6, finance. Public hearing for adopting the 2016 budget. So I will open the public hearing. We will get staff comments.
Yes, before you this evening, you do have our 2016 budget. Just a couple items to note that on the budget, we've actually had 2 public hearings this year. We had one on September 28th, which the department heads presented their light item requests. The council did receive their proposed 2016 budget on October the 12th. And then October the 26th, department heads presented the capital projects request. And on November the 10th is when council and Monty and I reviewed the proposed upcoming budget. So with that before you this evening, we do have the budget for adoption. There's 3 different resolutions that go with that. And I would also like to make mention that we have received from the state of Colorado, we're estimating $142,000 in highway users tax funds for 2015. And for 2016, we have budgeted $140,000, and that is for street maintenance.
Thank you. Any further comments? All right. Questions, anything? All right, I will then close the public hearing. And is there a motion for the adopting resolution number 2015-18, adopting the 2016 budget?
I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2015-18, adopting the 2016 budget.
A second?
Second?
Discussion and roll call vote.
Counselor Dykes.
Yes.
Mayor Schomberger,
Yes.
Counselor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Bain,
Yes.
Counselor Becker.
Yes.
Next resolution is there a motion for adopting resolution number 2015-19, appropriating funds?
I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2015-19, appropriating funds.
Second?
Second?
Any discussion on that one? And roll call vote.
Mayor Schomberger,
Yes.
Counselor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Bain,
Yes.
Counselor Becker,
Yes.
Counselor Dykes.
Yes.
Moving on to number C. Do you want to say anything about resolution number 2015-20, setting the mill levy?
This resolution actually sets the mill levy with Morgan County, and that's, the mill levies is 15.66, which have been unchanged for numerous years now, and that's what generates our property tax revenue.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve resolution 2015-20?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2015-20, set mill levy.
Second?
Second. Discussion and roll call vote.
Counselor Bain,
Yes.
Counselor Becker,
Yes.
Counselor Dykes.
Yes.
Mayor Schomberger,
Yes.
Counselor Anderson.
Yes.
And finally, under finance, the disbursements and payroll. I'll hand that over to, is there a motion to approve disbursements?
I'll make a motion and request that we approve the disbursements and payroll for November 23rd through December 14th, 2015, in the amount of $514,278.27.
Second?
Second, motion second, discussion, and a roll call vote.
Counselor Becker,
Yes.
Counselor Dykes.
Yes.
Mayor Schomberger,
Yes.
Counselor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Bain.
Yes.
Moving on to staff reports. Karen, you have a presentation.
I do. I was sitting there thinking about how I wanted to present this evening, and starting way back probably with the All-America City Award, and maybe even before that, the City of Brush is being recognized in numerous ways over the past year or two for a lot of great work that we've been doing here. And that is definitely reflective of council's guidance and decision-making in terms of where we go, priorities we set, and then obviously good management led by Monty, and then a good staff that's bringing all this to fruition. So was it a week ago? maybe 2 weeks ago, Friday on December 4th, I had an opportunity to represent the city of Brush at the American Concrete Pavement Association because they were giving the city an award for excellence in concrete pavement for the Hospital Road reconstruction project. They have 2 categories of awards, or actually they have two levels of award within each category, a gold and a silver. Obviously gold is a little preferable. We did receive the silver award, but it is a national recognition for that project that we did. And, you know, it was obviously through city council and pulling the right people together that made the reconstruction of that project happen, and it's a great entry point into the city. And definitely national awards, because the gold winner in that category was out of Wisconsin. You know, so you are definitely competing on a national level. And then the other local project that won an award there was the I-76 project, and that particular category was for a rural divided highway. Castle Rock and their design team and people received a gold level recognition for the reconstruction of that section of I-76. So it's pretty exciting that Brush was in the news twice related to local projects.
Yes. Thank you. Those are great awards, especially when you consider the scope of who else is in running for that.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
So we'll pass that along and let everybody look at the award. That's great. Going on to other reports, finance. Joanne.
One item to report on this evening. Council may recall that about a couple months ago, we had John McGinn here on our water rate increase. Actually even discussed this a little bit at the budget retreat. Currently, him and I have still been working with that consultant on that water rate study. We do need a rate tier for an 8-inch meter, which was not on his study, so that's being worked on. And then we had to give him some other numbers, and I'm still doing some evaluations with him on those higher users and whether we're going to end up them having less money paid out or if we're going to end up changing those some. Currently, it's looking like that because of this and because of the timing of the end of the year and everything, it's probably going to be February before we do any of those water rate increases. We are putting a letter in. The other piece, we haven't really done any of the PR work that we had talked about doing for promoting this and letting the citizens know that we were going to be doing this. But in the newsletter this time, we are going to put a letter in that newsletter about the water rate increase that would be coming up, and most likely, like I said, that'll be in February.
Thank you. Moving on to community development, Karen.
I just wanted to note that we got our application in for Tree City USA. So more than likely we'll be recognized here this next year for 26 years of participation as a Tree City. And we'll be celebrating that at our next Arbor Day celebration on Friday, the 24th of April. So looking forward to doing that. I believe we're going to be holding that celebration over at Sunset Park by the pond. We're doing some shade trees along the trail there. So, and then the only other item to note is that our signage regulations continue to get recognition. I'm sure you saw in the CML newsletter or one of their publications recently that Martin and Jerry put together a nice article, and then there was another shorter article that appeared in the Colorado State City County Managers Association newsletter related to that particular project.
Thank you. Moving on to city clerk.
Just for council's note and the public, City Hall will close on the 24th at noon and will be closed on the 25th. And we have a regular city council meeting on December 28th at 6 p.m. And then City Hall will close again, or other city offices will close at noon on the 31st for New Year's. That's it.
Okay. And Administrator Monty Torres.
Okay, a few items. First one is the golf course. Probably most everyone knows or realizes that it's open now, the restaurant part of the golf course. And we're excited because it's a really good menu. And servings are very large, so make sure you're hungry when you go there. They're doing kind of a slow opening this week, trying to work out the bugs of a new restaurant, and then they'll start doing a lot more marketing the following week. So that's exciting news for the city, and a lot of the restoration, remodeling of the kitchen and the building, that's due to the partnership with the Jocelyn Needham Foundation and the Petty's Foundation. We couldn't do it without them, so Thanks to them for those contributions. Also, I put in front of you a copy of the Morgan County Economic Bulletin. That's from MCDC, and they send this out once a quarter and just has some interesting information for the communities to review. This one has quite a bit about energy and fracking, those type of things. And then also on the back page of it, it talks about the pipeline that's going through the southern part of the county right now. And these are the same workers that are based out by the English feedlot that are renting that. It's the company that's putting a lot of a section of that pipeline in. And so good information for council to read. Today we went to a Progressive 15 meeting or an educational training or forum, and it was on industrial hemp. And I'll ask in a minute for the mayor or for our city attorney just to give their thoughts on that training. And a reminder for all of the community about snow. We're probably going to get some more snow again. Just reminding everyone that there's that 24-hour rule that once it stops snowing, then you have 24 hours to clean your sidewalks, and that really does help with the kids walking to school, those type of things. And also, if you get a chance, instead of scooping shovel out into the streets, if you can shovel it onto your yard, it's a lot better. Does your grass good, doesn't do our stormwater system a lot of good, because that eventually gets down there, and if it freezes, then it's a lot of work to try and unfreeze those. And that's all I have for this evening.
All right, thank you. Any reports from council members?
Yeah, I have one thing I'd like to say with the Christmas party that the city recently held. I'd like to thank Bill Wentworth for providing the walkthrough with the new kitchen and stuff, and it looks like things progressed very well. Looks like money's being well spent to really upgrade the facility, and I'd really like to encourage the community to come check it out.
Yes, I agree. It looks like it's a great place. I was also reflecting on how efficiently we went and approved the budget, and we had talked earlier about trying to give a little more background into things, because people would tend to get the hint that we didn't do a lot of discussion on this, where in fact we have several evenings of discussion and time spent and a lot of going back and forth on getting things approved on this. And it wasn't just a quick thing, but so after we had discussed having more of that information given at the meetings, we didn't do that tonight, but we'll keep working on that. All right.
I have, are you
Yes.
finished, Chuck? I have from the East Morgan County Library, I brought the agenda from the past meeting, and I thought for the next year, I would just bring in the agenda so everybody can see what's going on. I would like you to pay attention to their wish list for 2015 to 2020, because they're growing. Our library is growing by leaps and bounds. And so if you take a look at some of the things that they'd like to be working on over the next 5 years, it's pretty impressive. So there's the agenda. Rotary, we have an exchange student from Turkey. Our Rotary has sponsored an exchange student, and her name is Naz, N-A-Z. Don't ask me her last name. We'll just leave it at Naz. And I just want to tell you a little bit about her. She's a spirited young woman from Turkey. She speaks English pretty well, and she plays basketball. So if you get the opportunity to go to women's basketball, you'll see Naz. And I hope that she just gets a really good impression of our city, and I think she has during her experience here. So I just thought I'd pass that along.
Thanks for mentioning that.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Anything else? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
We are adjourned.
And I think we have one item on work session.